Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Trigunaatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasra Swami Moksha Pradayani Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Salat salat Zoya Kapelala Shri Nirmal Ganesha Pujanala Salat salat Zoya Kapelala Shri Nirmal Ganesha Pujanala Salat salat Zoya Kapelala Shri Nirmal Ganesha Pujanala Nirnanda Sare Ananda Sohana Bhaga Bhaga Re Sala Sala Soya Kapelala Shri Nirmal Ganesha Pujanala 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 Sala Sala Soya Kapelala Shri Nirmal Ganesha Pujanala.
Just put your hands towards me. Just like this. It's good. You're all thoughtless. If you see, there's no thought in your mind. And complete silence. Enjoy this. This moment is going to transform your life. Take it from me. You may not realize today, but you'll realize it very soon. Strong. Have faith in yourself. That's the main thing. It's beautiful.
People are seeking, no doubt. But when I saw so many people, I was amazed. Now the time has come, it's a new awareness which has come. You see, the world is ready for it.
I want to be smaller, like a dust particle which moves with the wind. It goes everywhere, can go sit on the head of a king, or can go and fall at the feet of someone. And it can go and sit everywhere. But I want to be a particle of dust that is fragrant, that is nourishing, that is enlightening.
म्हणजे आमचे आजोबा ओळखत होते. म्हणजे आम्ही असं एक दिवस भेटलो आहे, म्हणजे एकदा आठवण मागे तेव्हा बघितलं. म्हणजे प्रवचन होतं त्यांचं, तेव्हा भेटलो एकदा. आमचे आजोबा पांडुरंग झोरे, ते त्यांचे म्हणजे रोज पूजा करायचे, नंतर पाण्यात पाय सोडून ते कुंडली जागृत करत ना तसे करायचे. आणि मग सेंटर असे त्यांचे असतात ना केंद्र, तिथं जायचे. बाकीचे लोक कोण नाही, फक्त ते एकटेच करायचे. म्हणजे फोटो आहे, पुसतो आम्ही, पण असं ते कुंडली जागृत वगैरे करणं, सेंटरला जाणं असं करत नाही. फोटोची पूजा वगैरे करतो, पण सेंटरला वगैरे जात नाही असे कोण ना, फक्त आजोबाच करायचे. मी फोटो पुसतो, पण असे सेंटरला वगैरे जात नाही. एका टपामध्ये पाणी घ्यायचे, गरम पाणी, त्यामध्ये थोडं मीठ टाकायचं आणि पाय सोडून बसायचे आणि हाताद्वारे असं करून ते काहीतरी करायचे. निर्मला देवींचं नाव घेत असतं, निर्मला देवी म्हणून असं म्हणत.
त्यांना मारते दिले ना, मारू देत काय.
परम पूज्य श्री माताजी निर्मला देवी जी का रत्नागिरी रेलवे स्टेशन में प्रेम पूर्वक स्वागत करते हैं. रत्नागिरी स्थानकात परम पूज्य निर्मला देवी भक्तांचे कोकण हार्दिक स्वागत. रत्नागिरी स्थानकामध्ये परमपूज्य निर्मला देवी भक्तांचे कोकण रेल्वेतर्फे हार्दिक स्वागत.
गाड़ी अच्छी लागणार फिरणार नाही फिरेगी डायरेक्ट उतरताना लागणार गाडी मोठी आहे ना माझी
Shri Mataji found this place called Ganpati Pule about 18 or 19 years ago. And there is a very holy temple of Sri Ganesha, who is the main deity that's worshipped in Maharashtra. And she said, look, we'll all go over there. And we were not many. I think we were barely a couple of hundred people. And she told me, we'll go over here, and I think you'll find that everybody will go very deep. And that was true. We came over here the very first time, and we had 6 or 7 days of programs. We were at the nearby village. And this has now grown year after year, wherein many more people come. Now you have 8,000 people. And the idea is to bring people together to meditate, but most of all for people to have some proximity to Shri Mataji.
I am immensely joyous to see all of you here. The words get lost. They have no meaning. So many of you aspiring to ascend to that state where you would have complete joy, bliss and peace. In this country, we had a struggle of freedom. I was part and parcel of that. My parents were part and parcel of that. They were rich people, quite rich, I should say, from every standard. You'll be amazed, my father burnt all his suits. They were stitched in England. My mother burnt all her saris. They used to spin their own clothes and wear them. I had only one coat throughout my education. When I was in Lahore, which is terribly cold, sometimes can be like London. But we never grudged and never grumbled and never said that our father should have looked after us and done something. Why did he just sacrifice everything for the country? Never, never, never. That quality was created, I should say, by Mahatma Gandhi, He made everybody so transformed into a new personality. All the money that we had, everything that we had, all conveniences, all housing, everything was given up. Not only by my father, but so many of them. Otherwise, we could not have got our freedom. To get our freedom, this country has sacrificed so much. I must say Gandhiji had a special charm. I don't know how he managed. He was like touch of Midas, touched anybody, he became transformed. And he was an extremely strict man, very kind to me, to children, but he was an extremely strict man. He would not tolerate any nonsense at all. Throughout, if you study the way all these people were brought up, not only for freedom of or independence, but even before that, for spiritual life, anywhere, there's one thing very common is sacrifice. And the consciousness that you are doing something right. Consciousness that you are part and parcel of the whole. I've seen it with my own eyes. Such people in this country, whom you may call legendary, but I've seen it. Thousands of people were killed and butchered. Children died. Nobody shed tears. Nobody shed tears. Now, after that, we are here to get our freedom, to get the freedom for our spirit, to make our spirit free from our greed, lust, from your anger, from our conditionings, from our terrible ego.
হেমুরে চিত্ত পূর্ণ তীর্থে জাগরে ধীরে এই ভারতের মহামানবের সাগর তীরে এসো এসো আজ তুমি ইংরাজ, এসো এসো খ্রিস্টান, এসো ব্রাহ্মণ, সূচি করি মন, ধরো হাত সবাকার। এই ভারতে মহামানবের সাগর তীরে
We can see from one point of view that human beings are created as human beings. And they have mental, emotional, all these sides. Now, they are guided by their emotional side, maybe mental side, also depending on the birth and all that. So they are bound by all these things. We have within us a power, I call it as Kundalini, which is kept in the triangular bone, which is sleeping there. So when you awaken that Kundalini, she passes through these various aspects of her life and she enlightens them. Not only enlightens them, but she binds them and makes them one. That is where we become above all these things and we become ourselves. This is I discovered long time back. But to put it into somebody's head is very difficult. But when it started working out, they would ask me how it has worked, how it has happened, what has happened. Then I could explain to them.
We may have many concepts about our religion or caste or race, but these are only concepts. Every human being has within him the desire to want to be one with God. That desire, if it is strong enough, it will be fulfilled. And in her presence, that desire can actually manifest itself. You do get connected, you feel the vibrations, you feel the silence, deep silence within, which is the thoughtless awareness. Then of course how they take it forward is left to them. It is an individual's own sense of responsibility and the strength of his or her own desire to take it forward. India is blessed by people who believe that there is God and one has to be surrendered to God and one has to try to get closeness to God. But that's what it is. The rest of it is that we are divided into many, many castes, many, many religions, many sects, and much ritualism. And when you break out of that, and we realize that we are all people who are born from this earth of India and that we can all achieve a sense of realization and can get close to a sense of God, then it will change the way Indians also work with each other. I was very lucky that I was able to meet with Shri Mataji when I was about 18 years old. And she was staying in Bombay, and she was at that time the wife of the chairman of the Shipping Corporation of India. My mother knew her, so we went over to her home, and my mother said, "Here is a special person, and you'll feel good if you meet her." There were not that many people. There were a few people in Bombay. They'd meet for meditation. In fact, when they met for meditation, Shri Mataji herself would be there, sitting in front of everybody. But it took a few years after that to fully realize the power of the vibrations.
19 तारीख क्या इंग्लिश में बोलना
19 मार्च
19 मार्च
1970
1972 हम गए थे आबू में रजनीश के शिविर में। तो उसमें से वो लेडीज मुझे मिल गई, तो उन्होंने माता जी का एड्रेस वगैरह लिख दिया ना। तो वो ऐसी बात करते बात कि आपके वो सब अंदर थे ना, कूदते थे, नाचते। तो मैं बाजू में खड़ी थी, आप कैसे, आपको इसमें इंटरेस्ट? मैंने बोला मेरे कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं उसमें। तो फिर उन्होंने बोला कि मैं आपको एक एड्रेस बताऊँ, एक निर्मला श्रीवास्तव करके है बॉम्बे में। तो उन्होंने किसके पास से कागज़ दिया, किसके पास से पेंसिल, मेरे को एड्रेस लिख दिया जीवन ज्योत का। फिर वो सब कर मैं तो गए अम्बाजी। फिर अम्बाजी गए तो हम तो अम्बाजी में रहते थे 4-5 दिन। फिर अंदर मंदिर में जब पूजा करते थे वगैरह, तो माता अम्बाजी माँ को प्रार्थना कर बोला, माँ ये जगह में जाओ। तो माता जी ने जैसे बोला कि मेरा ही वो स्वरूप है, मैं ही हूँ। फर्स्ट फ्लोर पर ही माता जी का घर था, पर हम सेकंड फ्लोर पर चढ़ गए। तो मैं उतरती थी, माता जी ने दरवाज़ा खोला और बाहर आके बोले, आप मेरे को ढूंढ रही हो? मैं नीचे आई तो माता जी ने मेरे को ऐसा हाथ लगा के अंदर ले गई, ऐसे कोट पर बैठाया। फिर वो चिट्ठी माता जी को बताई, तो बहुत अच्छा है बोले। फिर मेरे को यहाँ देखे कि ठीक है, तुम्हारा सब अच्छा है, पर मैं अभी चालू नहीं किया है जो मेरे को करना है। बोले मेरी लड़की को अभी 9वां महीना है, उसको डिलीवरी हो जाएंगी, वो 1.25 महीना के बाद मैं ये चालू करूँगी। तो फिर वो आराधना की डिलीवरी हुई ना, कल्पना की। बाद में 1.25 महीना के बाद ये जनवरी महीना में माता जी ने शिविर लिया था बोर्डी में। फिर वहाँ बुलाया, वो मेरे को लेटर आया तो मैं आ गई। तो जहाँ माता जी बैठती थी, माता जी हम दूर से बैठते थे, तो सब लोग बोले ऊपर चलो, मैं पीछे पीछे बोले चलो, नहीं बोलेंगे तो वापस आ जाएंगी। तो पीछे पीछे गई ऊपर। पहले वो जवेरी को दिया वाइब्रेशन, और ऐसे ऊपर चढ़ाती थी, ऐसे सब करके जागृति। फिर उन्होंने बोला ये उनको भी दो। थोड़े वाइब्रेशन नहीं आता मालूम होता था, लेकिन ऐसा कुछ अच्छा लगा अंदर से। फिर वो चंदू भाई जो वो लोग भी ऐसे ऐसे देखते थे, करते थे, बोले हो गए ऐसे।
When I started raising their kundalini, first only 2 people got it. Gradually. Then so many people got this. So they said, we too want to have this within us. So can you give us? I said, I'll try. I don't know. So we thought we should go into a place which is away from the city. So we were about 25 people. I think 6 or 7 people got their realization. So they told us that we are feeling the cool breeze in our hand, and also the cool breeze coming out of Fontanelle bone area. So I said, that's it. Now you have to grow in it. You have to watch. With a witness state, you should find out what has happened to you. I must say those days people were very, very genuine. They wanted. It was not just a stunt. And so, altogether out of 25, 21 got this.
the cool breeze that is normally subjectively felt with the Kundalini awakening, it was objectively recorded. Very fine instruments were used to record the palmar skin temperature. And it was found that there was about 1 degree centigrade drop in the skin temperature. The knowledge about this subtle system, that is the Kundalini, about the 7 chakras, and about these 3 energy channels, all this is described in Yoga Sutra. What Shri Mataji has given to us, she has described how each energy centers, they are controlling different organs of our body. Any disease is because of some imbalance in these energy centers. The correction can be effected only with the Kundalini awakening. And if it gets awakened, it rises up through this center channel. It pierces this 6th energy center, which is called the Agnya, and it goes up on the Sahasrara, and it goes and unites with the cosmic energy. When this union of your own divine energy with the cosmic energy takes place, then yoga is said to have occurred. Normally, a person cannot stop his or her thoughts, but when the Kundalini gets awakened, then a person is put into a thoughtless state, and finally it goes up to the Sahasrara, and a person is feeling the cool breeze. As many diseases are having stress as a major etiological factor, that being cut out, plus the vibrations going to the energy centers and giving the vibrations themselves being regenerating and nourishing, they do the healing. Shri Mataji has initiated work of Sahaja Yoga using the medical side, in the sense that curing of people has been an attractive point for world at large. So you can say that the cure being effected in Sahaja Yoga is a byproduct of this Kundalini awakening. It is a spiritual experience which a person gains. But humans, we are all not coming for the spiritual aspect. We may be coming with medical complaints, but reaping the benefit is the spiritual ascent that a person achieves.
Please remove the guilt from me.
I had a hand for curing people, and I had a liking for medical studies also. So, despite all other problems, I thought best is to do medicine. But suddenly my college was closed in 42. Moreover, my father was in jail. So we didn't have sufficient money also. My mother would sell her ornaments to get the money for education. So when my college was closed, my mother said, "No, stop. We can't afford to wait." That's how I then got married. Then I started going to different people supposed to be preaching about spirituality, talking about spirituality. But what I found, they themselves were not spiritual. Very greedy, trying to want everything, running after women. I said, what sort of things these are? If they are like this, what are they going to teach me? So I gave up hopes. Then I started searching myself, within myself. Then one day, in a forest, I was with lots of people who were seeking. And I went near the big taलाब को क्या कहते हैं?
The sea.
Taलाब. And there I was sitting. And suddenly a light came into me. And I saw it clearly that I am a satisfied soul. I don't need anything. I don't want anything. And that is the time when I saw a few things happening. I felt later on, about 8 days later, that there is this power of Kundalini which rises within me and which pierces through the body and all that, which is not a common experience. So I said, this can happen to everyone. You see, many boys also started coming, ladies also coming from the West to my group. Then my husband got a job in England. So I went with him. And I started working with the English. It's worked.
We were just in our first year of London life, and we had taken up a house out in the rural area. When I came in the evening, I went to my living room, as they say, or drawing room, and there I saw a young white boy sitting comfortably in the sofa and reading a paper, newspaper. So I said, who is this fellow? Who is he? And he looked at me as if I was an intruder. I went to her and I said, now, do I see what I see? Because I said, I have seen a young man sitting there wearing my clothes, my kurta and my pajama. I said, there is something wrong with me. So she said, no, there's nothing wrong with you. I'll tell you what has happened. And then she explained that she had gone to London. This is what had happened. And so she felt she could help him. We brought him home, and he was dirty, so he had to be given a wash. So I was a little relieved. I thought I had gone out of my mind. I said, well, very good. That I began to understand the depth of her feelings, her vision.
It all worked out. My husband should get a job in England, that I should go with him there. There I meet people of that kind. It's a fragrance of spirituality which spreads.
See, in the West at that time, from India, there had been many so-called gurus. Now, when I went to America, I found that all of these people had a great big following out there. They were on television. They were treated as this sort of something really extraordinary that has come from India. But I felt that the seekers were real. I was in California, and you know that in California is where this whole sense of wanting to find ways and means as to how do you break out of the existing mold and get something else in life. So I met many people, and Gregor was one such person. He was actually traveling in California, and I could see that he was a very great seeker, but he didn't know. And we spent some time together, and then I just said, look, I know that you're looking for something. I can't do anything for you, but there is somebody, and we in India think that she is the incarnation of Mary, the mother of Jesus, or Radha herself, Radhaji herself, and she lives there in London just now. She can help you. And I was so surprised. The very next day he left and went to England, and he went and telephoned and went and met Shri Mataji. So many years later I asked Gregor, what happened? I mean, if someone just tells you something, do you just go 10,000 miles away, or how does it go? So he said, no, before I came to meet you, every night I would be having a vision, or I'd have a sense that something is going to happen. I know that something is going to happen to me. And then when you told me, I knew that was the truth, so I just went.
One of them was Gregor, who came. So I told him, you can go to London and there, London city. We have some people there who are spiritually very alert. So he said, all right. He went and bought a bow for himself and a shirt for himself. I said, no, be simple, they are simple people. He thought he should wear a bow. Then he went and put the bow on and everything. And Gregor came up and he saw, peeped in, that everybody was very simply dressed. So went down running, took out his bow and everything. And wore a simple dress and came up. I didn't get realization that day. Afterwards he got it. He was very argumentative from the very beginning, overly read and all that. But gradually he came around. And I knew Gregor now.
I met her in August 1975. And when I came to Shri Mataji, I was the child of my generation. And then, with this sort of very permissive lifestyle that we had, our generation, then when you come to someone like Shri Mataji, who is purity herself, and all your chakras are basically in jeopardy, all your chakras are more or less broken. And it's really hard because visibly, Shri Mataji was working on me, and then she was going and vomit in the bathroom next minute, because my system was really damaged by the lifestyle, which was basically the lifestyle of a kid of my generation. But when she came and she told me what she was here for, what she had come for, what she was going to give mankind, what she was giving mankind already, then that was making the whole thing meaningful, the whole course of history. Then I was like, I don't know how you say this in English, écrasé. I was like stunned by the magnitude of it all, because just imagine that suddenly you get a big secret, and you know that this is what everybody needs, and then what do? When you look around yourself, there were maybe 7 or 8 people, who were following Shri Mataji. So here she is, you have 7 people around you. It is what the world needs, and what do? That was sort of overwhelming.
Sharmadayini Devi Ma, Sharmadayini Devi Ma, Sahasrara Swamini Devi Ma, Sahasrara Swamini Devi.
She travels along with me to many countries, and you would find it very difficult to believe. Wherever she went, they probably recognize her a little more than they would recognize me. I was the official. Then, she began to travel on her own, went to different places, different countries. And what appeals to me most in Sahaja Yoga is that it brings about a genuine inner transformation. It is not just talking, it's something from inside.
So we started organizing gradually public program, mostly in Caxton Hall in England, and that were the heroic times. She was coming, she was, staying after the program, giving realization to everybody, working on everybody, talking with everybody about their own private sort of issues, problems. And so I think England was definitely the place where all this was taking place for long. Then some of the people where they went in the country, and that's the way it started. And then little by little they started there. And I went back to my country. I believe, I'm not sure, I think I did the first public program without Shri Mataji in Lausanne in Switzerland. And and some people got the realization. I mean, of course, in the beginning you don't know whether it's going to work or not, so it's ein bisschen spannend.
He got a couple of people to come around, and they stood behind me, and they put a candle in a photograph, and they were doing all this stuff, and I was sitting there like this, waiting to be plunged into bliss. And that didn't happen, but what did happen was I felt this cold feeling start here and come up my legs and stop at the base of my spine. And they carried on for a little bit, and then he said, well, that's it. What you have to do now is meditate, and it'll work out. And I was a little bit disappointed, and they left. And I remember standing there in this room, smoking a cigarette, and I realized that my visual perception had changed a little bit. Anyway, I was very skeptical about the whole thing. I tried meditating. It wasn't spectacular. It was very subtle. But what I found was that things just kind of happened in my life. And he called, he only worked one day, this guy. He called and he said, well, would you like to meet Shri Mataji? She's going to New York on Friday. So I said, well, Friday, impossible, I've got a clinic that goes from 8 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock. And he said, well, look, she's leaving Terminal 3 at 10 o'clock. She's going to New York. I'm going with her. And so I said, well, thanks for the invitation, but it's impossible. And on that Friday, which was the next day, the secretary said, oh, Dr. Wells, something really funny is happening, but your first 4 patients have all cancelled. So I said, okay, I'll be back. And there was Shri Mataji.
You are your own master, no doubt, but you have to be made into it. Unless and until you are connected to the mains through this, unless and until you are baptized, you are not your spirit. Now the spirit resides in your heart. Nobody knows, you see. He resides in your heart. But you are not aware of it. When the Kundalini passes through these various centers and pierces through this one, then the seat of the spirit is here. If it doesn't work, we'll work it out later.
The chakras are simply anatomical locations that are physiologically understandable by terms of autonomic nervous plexi. So this is the cardiac plexus, the heart chakra is the cardiac plexus. The Vishuddhi is the cervical plexus. Now, what I don't understand is how you can get cool air coming out of your head. That's not part of my training. You know, there is no way in allopathic medicine, in Western teaching, that you get cool air coming out of your head, and as it goes past here, you go into meditation. So a lot of it is difficult to explain from a scientific point of view if you've been trained like I am to be critical and to go to the library and check things out. And my own view is that it's entirely up to me whether I choose to believe in Sahaja Yoga, whether Shri Mataji is a divine being, whatever. So for example, if this thing caught fire and God appeared and said, "Here I am," we'd all have no problem with it. There's always room for doubt. And it's my choice as to whether I choose to believe that this is a divine process or whether it's just a coincidence.
Mataji o Devi tu hi adi shakti hai. Mataji o Devi tu hi adi shakti hai. Mataji o Devi tu hi adi shakti. Mataji o Devi tu hi adi shakti. Mataji o Devi tu hi adi shakti. I would like even bitte einsteigen. Türen schließen sämtlich.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. The food is coming from this side.
He says that why do you consider yourself to be the most developed spiritual person on this planet?
I didn't say that.
I said it.
He said, not me, I didn't say. Firstly, this is his experience which he has said. I never say so. And in modern times, when the ego is so strong, I am not a fool to say anything.
Ich war ein bisschen hippie-mäßig angehaucht oder ein Freak, wie wir damals gesagt haben. Oder ich war jemand, der kein großes Interesse an der Gesellschaft hatte, beziehungsweise auch kein großes Interesse daran hatte, ein konventionelles Leben innerhalb dieser Gesellschaft zu leben. Ja. Und ich wusste aber auch nicht konkret, was ich anderes machen hätte können oder wollte. Ich war ein typischer Neinsager, ein typischer Ablehner dessen, was da ist, aber auch nicht mit konstruktiven Alternativen. Ja.
Better? Better now. You are going to be all right. Right now, you become a master yourself.
Ich habe damals in München gelebt und ich kann mich gut erinnern, wie innerhalb von 2-3 Jahren der gesamte englische Garten rot gewandet war. Ja? Und hunderte von Sannyasins dort rumgelaufen sind. Leute, die früher Hans, Franz oder Uli hießen auf einmal Anand oder Shravanu oder wie auch immer. Ich glaube schon, dass das auf alle Fälle ein Zeichen der Generation war und dass viele Leute sich mit Spiritualität beschäftigt haben. Ich glaube, dass viele Leute immer noch suchen und ich glaube auch, dass ihnen die Suche eigentlich besser behagt als das Finden. Denn die Suche selber hält immer Optionen offen. Bei der Suche braucht man sich niemals committen oder man braucht sich niemals bekennen.
और लेफ्ट हैंड से देखिए कि सर में कहीं ठंडी ठंडी हवा तो नहीं आ रही, सर से ऊपर.
You see, the world is ready for it. That's how. Otherwise, it would not have happened about, say, 20 years back, I think. Now the time has come. It's a new awareness which is coming. You see, it is, I think it is a system where you are ready for something, you get it. People are seeking, no doubt. I didn't know they were seeking so much. I didn't expect also. But when I saw so many people, I was amazed.
आ रही ठंडी बहुत बड़ी बात है आप लोगों को, इतने लोगों के हाथ में ठंडा। सबको अनंत आशीर्वाद है हमारा।
She used to travel so much. I mean, that was the time when I was not so much with her because I was in my home and she was in Europe, and she used to Bulgaria, Romania, I'm hearing she's here, there. She went to South America. How she managed, I tell you, I can't tell you this. Lately, I was traveling more with her. We went to Dubai, and while leaving the leader of the Dubai collective, I was sitting like this, very quiet. I said, so what happened? He said, you know, Didi, now that mother is going out of my hands, I'm feeling sad. So I told that to somebody else who was also like this, feeling sad because she was leaving from another place. I said, you know, this is like a cycle, and mother leaves and departs, and the people behind are feeling sad, and mother is sad too to say bye. And then she's getting ready to arrive with a lot of smiling faces waiting for her. She goes from there to there. Everybody asks me this, that how could you, you know, as a mother share her? And of course you're as a child, you want your mother all the time. It's natural. But then she timed it as such when I think I was engaged to be married already when she was, it was 1970, right? That is the date. So I was already engaged to be married. My sister was already married. So as they say, her worldly duties were kind of over.
I never found it very different, except, you know, when I saw her posters all over. And I said, oh my God. So she she became renowned all over the world. But to me, always a mother.
Oh, she was a strong mother, very strong, and she was very keen on, you know, you being correct and right and very dharmic, you know, that emphasis was very strong, that you must never do anything wrong. And it was easier in those days because I think dishonesty was not at all a common thing. So you had to live within your budget. So automatically you became a kind of person, and your attention did not go on to many luxuries. Also, we did not have consumerism in those days. I mean, we lived simply. The majority of people were of the same type of thinking. It was not so difficult. You didn't have peer pressure. Most of the girls were being brought up well, you know. Also, I don't think there was that much of conflict in generations. It was more flowing, you know. The family used to flow well.
My father was a brilliant man. He was leader of the people who were fighting the British. Very learned man. He went to jail many a times. Last time when he went after 1942 movement, it was for 3 years regularly he was in jail. But there was one fellow who was a friend of my father. He came and told my mother that you must apologize because we don't want your husband to be in jail. He has so many children and this and that. My mother said, I can't do that. His will. He wants to go to jail. He has to go. Like that, you see, we have glimpses of very ideal type of people during that time. They didn't think of money, their properties, nothing. So sacrifice was immense. Nowadays we can't even think of such a thing. But I did feel that the English should leave our country. They have no right to be there. So I did feel that somebody has to tell them that this is wrong. So I had a great sense of right and wrong. But I didn't know it was spirituality. It was an innate quality in me. But most of the people in those days were like that in India. Because the urge of freedom was so great, and that people were fighting for freedom. So they could not think of all those things. Once I had to speak when I was 7 years of age for Mahatma Gandhi's fasting, and I spoke to thousands of people. I was a little girl. And I told them how we should forget about caste system and how we should marry each other. I was such a little girl at 7 years.
She would love to get people married. She enjoyed this job very much. And in the little that we had, she would try to get the best. Nephews who were difficult, confirmed bachelors, they just got married because of her effort. Such a lot of courage, it takes, because I can see, I don't have the courage. I mean, I think because of her extra, I have no courage to do such huge things, but she did it with such love. Actually, the bottom of it all was tremendous love. She had a lot of love.
My brother is getting married. The girl is from Austria, and the haldi program is going on. It is a turmeric paste which we apply to the brides and the bridegrooms before the marriage, which is supposed to clean them. Mama. They have to first fill a form, and they have to send it to Shri Mataji. Their photograph and all the biodata is there, whatever they are studying or they are working, experience, and whether they want to get married here. And then the final matching is done by Shri Mataji. It is auspicious because she finds the brides and the bridegrooms from the whole world. Otherwise, for the mothers, for parents, it is very limited area. We just look in our place.
She said, what about you? And I said, me? And she said, yes, I think you should marry this girl. So I said, okay. And So I got married in Sahaja Yoga, and we have 3 beautiful daughters. They're now 17 and twins of 16. The marriage has been really very difficult. We're actually divorced now, and it didn't work out as a relationship. I just felt we were from different cultures, we were from different socio-economic backgrounds. I was into drugs, sex, rock and roll. She was into learning how to do Viennese waltzes and going to the opera and stuff like that. I feel that I've failed in my job to make it work. I don't feel proud about the fact that we're divorced, but I think that she marries people for the benefit of their spiritual ascent.
शक्ति तव पदयुगं स्मरामि शुभमंगल सावधान शुभमंगल सावधान शुभमंगल
Now the bride will garland first to the bridegroom. Bride to garland, bridegroom.
The mistake we do when we look for a partner, we look for affinities. Because, you know, same taste, same, and that doesn't always work. What we need to look for is complementarity. And complementarity we can't identify because it's hidden. So, in a sense, sometimes when Mother advises us, she knows what we can't see. She knows complementarity that can work between us. But very frankly, my wife is telling me that she would have run away from me anytime, any day before Sahaja Yoga, because I was this sort of loud chap that she would say, oh, keep away from this guy. And I can't say that I would have just zoomed on her. I mean, and yet, you know, Mother suggested her first, because the girl is the first one to make the decision. And then once she said yes, I said yes, and yeah, it worked. The man is like the sea, and the woman is like the earth. And it's a sort of give and take where there is no repetition. Shri Mataji says that it's like the two wheels of a chariot. They are equal, but they are at 2 different positions. So you need the 2 wheels to be equal for the chariot to go straight. If one wheel is larger than the other one, the chariot goes round and round.
When my elder daughter got married, she'd organized the whole thing. So this year when my younger daughter got married and she couldn't be here to organize everything with me, I found it rather strange that I really had to do some work.
In Sanskrit, they say the events of life are called samskaras. They are called samskaras. So you have special pujas and ceremonies for certain episodes in your life. Of these, the marriage is the most important sanskara. The reason is there's a lot of emphasis on the stability of this union. That is the basis of entire society and family and everything. So if this union is not treated with great sanctity, it can just, and there are hundreds of reasons to shake it. So if you don't give it that sanctity, you make it totally sacred, you can walk away from it.
Om Saubhagyamastu. Om Shubham Bhavatu. Hadi.
So she used to say that the sanctity of marriage has to be respected, because it's always a challenge, human beings always are challenged. And here you are in front of the sacred fire, you're taking the vows, the whole set of families are watching you do it. So it's a huge, huge psychological impact, also total commitment to break that. Not just the marriage itself, but just the event that you have timed. This is the time now that you got married, and there's a big change that must start us in life.
कि आपके जीवन के केवल सुख ही नहीं, अगर कभी कोई कष्ट होंगे, संघर्ष होंगे, तो उनमें भी मैं हमेशा.
If she finds that there is somebody who's not happy in marriage, this disturbs her a lot. So for her, that was an ideal situation. Whether human beings are all like that, I don't know. But in her heart, that is what she wanted for everybody. That they should be very happily married and enjoy each other.
You see, the thing is, in our country in those days, there was no choice, nothing. Whatever parents said, you had to listen. So, according to the choice of my parents, they selected him. He was a friend of my brother. And my brother said he's a very nice person, this, that. So they married me to him. That's what it is.
I met her first in 1946 and found her to be a very different person, different from young ladies of her age, a person who came from the background of patriotism. And there was some aura about her. I didn't quite understand at that time what was coming, but she was different.
Now I find we have another kind of slavery, a slavery of selfishness, self-oriented. This is my comfort, I must have this, it should be enjoyable, I'm enjoying, I'm this, I'm that. So rise now. You must rise above your petty, small mind.
आप कृपया बैठ जाइए।
Today is a great day because we are celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. He was such a great spiritual personality who had to suffer on the cross. This is what many people don't understand, that why a man of his caliber, of his standing, of his spirituality should have to go through so many ordeals in life. He did not feel the pain. On the contrary, he went through all that ordeal with such courage and such dignity. So, this kind of life that Christ had, you don't have to go through. He has done for us. Your life will be very, very safe and peaceful and joyous.
Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shiva Sarvat Sadike Sharanye Triambakye Gauri Narayani Namostute.
Puja is touching probably the religious aspect of Sahaja Yoga. And puja is basically what we call in Germany Gottesdienst. And it's the praising of God. Our pujas being offered to Shri Mataji, although they are pujas to different deities. So we do a puja for Christmas. And we do a puja and we offer to Shri Mataji a puja to Lord Jesus Christ. Because bhakti, which is the praising of God, the surrender of God, the love which you offer to God, yeah, is a very important part in the relationship between a human being and the divine. And without love, there's no relationship between you and God. It's all based on love. So bhakti is the bridge on which you walk to God.
अम्बा जी को मानते थे तो उसको ये करते थे न पूजा, तो माता जी मिल गई तो उसकी श्रद्धा। हम पहले जब माता जी के अम्बा जी ने पूजा करता तो अपने फोटो ले हाथ में एकदम भक्ति भाव थी एम था कि आ माँ तू हमने क्या ले मारी आम तो फोटा ने तो चांदलो करे कि अपने वस्त्र अलंकार ऐसे रख देते थे, पर हे माँ प्रत्यक्ष तुम कब मिलेंगे हमको। तो जब माता जी मिली तो इतना माता जी को ऐसा बैठा के पूजा करने का इतना आनंद आता था कि उस माँ मिल गई तो कितना आनंद आता है।
निर्मला माता
हमारे वहाँ तो सब रिवाज है ना, कोई आते तो नज़र उतारना, कलश ये घुमाना, पर चरण में पानी पे आरती करना, और वो भी हम अपने शादी में नहीं करते। फिर माता जी बैठ जाती तो उसी टाइम तो रिवाज था ना नज़र उतारने का, तो हम उतारते, माता जी को अच्छा लगता था, नज़र उतारिए।
It gets me centered, it gets me feeling that I'm in contact, that I'm connected with God of my understanding. The actual puja turns me into a more innocent child, and we dance and we sing, and the next day and for the next week usually I feel calm and I feel that I'm heading in a direction that is what God wants me to do, which is usually to do something for other people, you know, like make somebody else laugh or some little thing.
I'm amazed how they can read so much into her. It's because for them also she's the guru. And they're watching every movement of her face, so they have understood her completely. And I think the main thing is that she has been able to transform a person, to run away from that ego and get into connection with the consciousness of Param Chaitanya. So from that point you go backwards, that when that happens, what happens to a person?
Her desire is the emancipation of humanity, that they should be connected to the divine, that they should have joy in their lives, that they should be able to be collectively conscious and understand vibrations from each other. She knows that it's not easy, it's going to take time. It depends on the power of the desire of each individual.
It's not a battle for the world, it's a battle for myself. If I can work it out in myself, it doesn't change the world, it changes myself, so I have my first win. But if we all do it, then eventually we get an impact on society.
And each person has their own story. Each life is different. Many people have never met her physically and who may never end up meeting her now. But they are transformed and their lives have been so affected. So many.
I'm sure, as a mother, I'm not so bad. But as a father, I think I lack some things. Please try to come up so that I should feel that I did not lack in my fatherly attitude towards you. When we were fighting for our freedom, all of us were removed from schools because we were in the missionary school, and the missionaries believed that Christ was born in England. But we were such proud children, very proud. And now when you have got the freedom of your spirit, you must seek the comfort of your spirit. One has to bear the pangs. I don't mind, because it is my life, my mission, my existence, my everything is for the purpose of emancipation of humanity. Even the last drop of my blood is for that. So my satisfactions are very different. If I could do it alone, I would have done it, but I cannot. It's only through you I have to do it.
I must say that CP has tolerated my lots of nonsense of being very generous and all that. But somehow he is tolerated.
Not tolerated, it has been absolutely wonderful. It continues to be that. She has been doing this now for many, many, many years. So I don't agree that I have tolerated her. On the contrary, it is she who has tolerated a bureaucrat in her life.
Permanent headache. So all these ideas about religion and God and all that must be again reformed. There's no need to ring the bells or anything. Bells have to be inside.
Thank you.
May God bless you.
Just put your hands towards me. Just like this. It's good. You're all thoughtless. If you see, there's no thought in your mind. And complete silence. Enjoy this. This moment is going to transform your life. Take it from me. You may not realize today, but you'll realize it very soon. Strong. Have faith in yourself. That's the main thing. It's beautiful.
Shri Mataji Angana. Adare hai Shri Mataji Angana. Uvare harahi Chaitanya ki. Uvare harahi Chaitanya ki. Anchi gaye madhura dhum. Anchi gaye madhura dhum. Mora nache more angana. Bhagavati Mataji Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi ki jai Bolo Shri Bhagavati Mataji Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi ki jai Feel the breeze, feel the breeze, feel the breeze, feel the Bolo Shri Bhagavati Mataji Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi ki jai Bolo Shri Bhagavati Mataji Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi ki jai Bolo Shri Bhagavati Mataji Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi ki jai Bolo Shri Bhagavati Mataji Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi ki jai Bolo Shri Bhagavati Mataji Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi ki jai Bolo Shri Bhagavati Mataji Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi ki jai
Hello, my name is Eero Heinonen and I'm doing this testimonial for Sahaja Yoga Meditation. My profession is in music. I play in a rock band called the Rasmus that we established. We started the band in 1994-95. So when I was about 18 years old, 19 years old, I had a friend who was in the same music school with me. And he was attending the meditation classes and he was talking very highly of it, and it sounded like, yeah, like there might be something in this, even though I was not looking for a meditation method or I wasn't looking for ways to change my life. But at one point, I had been going to the classes at that point maybe 4 or 5 times, and I vividly remember this one moment when it was after the class. I came out of the building, came out of the library. It was held in the library that day, and I came to the street, and suddenly I started to feel this sort of like a bubbling feeling inside of me, and I just felt like, wow, this world is so beautiful. And I was looking at people like, oh, look how unique and beautiful all these people are, and I felt like a lot of love in my heart, and it was an experience that felt like, well, even if I wasn't looking for anything spiritual, this definitely feels like something positive is changing inside me, and I felt like I need to follow this. I need to follow this experience and see how far it will take me, and what I can get out of it. I also got introduced to Shri Mataji, who is the founder of the method, and she is an Indian woman who has a very deep understanding of spiritual aspects, and I started listening to her lectures quite a lot, and there's plenty of them online as well. I still do, like, frequently I listen to her speeches, and I try to discover like what those metaphors and things what they mean in my life, and yeah, she's an important part of my meditation practice nowadays. I think that ever since, like, also my professional life has been affected in a way, because I felt like, okay, these are the values that kind of keep me on track if I want to achieve good meditations, and you know, I want to keep my life positive. I don't want to, you know, I want to get rid of intoxication, and I want to get rid of negative thoughts, and you know, I don't want to lie to myself, I don't want to lie to others. Sahaja Yoga Collective, I mean, the people who practice Sahaja Yoga frequently, like, we have these people in so many countries, like more than 100 countries, or 110 countries probably. We're like a big collective of people who have a vision to wanting to give this meditation to many people, and we want to make it available for everyone who is somehow interested to go deeper into their spirit and experience life in that sort of like a subtle, full way.
As usual, before we meditate and after we meditate, we'll raise our energy, the Kundalini, and put ourselves what we call a bandhan. So let's do it together first. So the left hand will raise vertically, and the right hand will rotate around it like that. And we do that 3 times. So the first time, and on top we do a knot. Like we want to tie our Kundalini to stay on top of our head. We do it a second time. And then we do it a third time. And a third time we do 3 knots. Now we put ourselves in a bandhan, which is a protection of our aura around us, with the left hand still on our lap and the right hand starting on the left side, going around us and back in half a circle. 7 times for the 7 chakras. So now let's go in meditation with some music. And this will be a silent meditation. Simply, if you have thoughts, forgive them. Try to keep your attention above your head and simply go in meditation. Go in the present moment. We can slowly come out of our meditation. I hope you enjoyed this session. So it is very important to meditate every day, to cleanse ourselves in the evening, and to come to this weekly webcast, or if you have an event, Sahaja Yoga class nearby, please go and attend that class, because that will certainly enhance your meditation and help you to grow spiritually very rapidly.
Om
This is the story of creation. Creation once said, I want to hide something from the humans until they are ready for it. It is the realization that they create their own reality. The eagle said, give it to me, I will take it to the moon. The Creator said, no, one day they will go there and find it. The salmon said, I will bury it at the bottom of the ocean. The Creator said, no, they will go there too. The mighty buffalo said, I will bury it on the Great Plains. And the Creator said, they will cut into the skin of the earth and find it even there. To this, the great-grandmother who lived in the breast of Mother Earth and who had no physical eyes but saw only with spiritual eyes, said, put it inside of them. And the Creator said, it is done. This power that was hidden within us is our motherly energy, the Kundalini. She is our individual mother waiting in the sacrum bone, and she knows all about our past, all about our aspirations, and all about our future. She knows our problems. Our Kundalini, our individual mother, she is anxious to give us our second birth. And once this happens, we automatically start seeing things very clearly in the light of the Spirit. Because when this happens, our spirit gets enlightened. Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi devised a very simple technique called Self Realisation to awaken this Kundalini energy. She has given this knowledge free of cost to the whole world through Sahaja Yoga Meditation. So let's begin and learn more about this technique to get our self-realization.
sit just on top, your hand, your palm should touch the fontanelle bone area where you had a soft bone in your child, and press it and try to move it clockwise. Now at this point, as I said, I cannot cross your freedom, and you have to ask for your realization, otherwise I cannot force it. So just say 7 times, Mother, I want my realization, please give me realization. 7 times. Now raise your hand and see if there's a cool breeze coming in. Now change your hand, please. Put your right hand down and the left hand on top of your head. And now see, raise it little high, about 6 inches high. 6 inches high. Got it, most of you. All can raise both your hands on top of your head. Open your eyes. Raise them high up. And now ask the question in your heart, is this the wind of the Holy Ghost? Is this the Brahmasha? Is this the all-pervading power of love of God that does all the living work? Now feel it yourself. Those who have come for the second time must have definitely felt it, but I'll tell you today what is to be done tonight and work it out. It will be better than you might get a photograph from these people tonight. In the beginning, it's better to use my photograph because it has got vibrations. Now what you can do is to put a candle in front of the photograph and you can see the vibrations are coming from the photograph. Now put the left hand towards the photograph and right hand like this. Just now you can do it. Put the left hand towards me and the right hand like this. Now this is the balance. This is the balance we are doing. Put left hand towards me and right hand out like this at the back. You see, like this. So we are ventilating. All right. Now see on the left hand if it is coming. You are all thoughtless if you see that. Now, you put your right hand towards me and left hand like this. Heart. You have to believe that you are the Spirit. That's all you have to believe. You have to believe in yourself. That's all I want you to believe in. That you are the Spirit. Good? Alright. Then I'll teach you how to raise your Kundalini tonight when you go home. So this is what you can do on the photograph, and you can see that it starts flowing from both your hands. At the most, if you are very much sort of intention or anything, if you are very sick, then you can take a little bowl of water with little salt in it and put your feet in that bowl and take the vibrations from the photograph. But if you feel cool breeze in your hand and cool breeze moving in this hand, then everything is perfect. Now you have to learn. Tomorrow I'll tell you what it means, how to use it, how to become a master. It's a simple thing. Now today I'll teach you how to raise your own Kundalini, which is your own. Now put your left hand in front of the Kundalini, here. All of you sitting down. Can you see me? Put your left hand like this, just like this in front, like this in front. This hand like this. The right hand has to be moved up, front, down, back, like that, clockwise. You have to raise it. Now, let us raise our Kundalini. Start it moving slowly, like this, like this, like this, and throw your hands up, absolutely loose, and then give it a twist. Throw your head back, and now give it a knot. That's one. You have to do it thrice. Again, let's do it. Hold the hand in front and start moving it. Take it up, throw your hands, and just give it a twist. And here it is. Third time, you have to give 3 twists. You can do it at home. Throw back your hands, head and hands loose, and give it one, then the second one, and then the third one, like this. Now see, it will improve. Now, there's one thing more one must learn, how to give protection to your aura. That is very important. Protection to your aura, I wish people knew how to do it, they would have saved themselves in many troubles. Is to put your left hand like this. And with the right hand, you move it like this. From here, move it. 1, go back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is how you give protection to yourself. Now see your vibration. All right? It's better. Now what happens that when you are judging others' vibration, you can just start judging like this, it's all right, or give him a bondage like this. This is the bondage of love, because it is flowing through your hands. When you move your hands, actually the power is flowing through your hands and fingers. So what you are doing is maneuvering. So you give it a bandhan, like we have a good luck sign, like that to him, and then see the vibrations. Now if you want to see your own vibrations, you give yourself a bandhan like this, and then see your own vibration. You try tonight, don't talk too much about it, don't argue. You are beyond mind. And that's why don't argue about it. The becoming is the most important part. Thus it is the difficult part of Sahaja Yoga. It is like no other thing that here, unless and until you become, it is of no use. You have to become, then you have to grow, then you have to become the expert, ultimately the master. That's what it is, and for which you cannot pay. May God bless.
Shri Mataji. Jai Shri Mataji. Sahasrara Swami Nirmala. Jai Shri Nirmala.
My name is Michael Fogarty. I'm 76 years old. I came to Sahaja Yoga in July of 1980 when I was 44. So we were amongst the first people in the Sahaja collective in Australia.
We were looking for a health cure for our daughter.
I guess we were looking for the help of a higher dimension than what traditional medicine could offer.
We went to all sorts of places to find it and ended up in Sahaja.
I don't know that I'd consider myself as a seeker. I don't really remember seeking as such.
I've probably been seeking for a while and struggling with, general existence.
I was not what you would call seeker. I was a young boy, Greek background. I was quite popular, I had a group of friends.
But I was very unhappy. I was so stressed.
And very happy in that life.
Because the work was stress and my colleagues were absolutely colleagues from hell.
I didn't consider myself a seeker. I can remember sitting in this room and Shri Mataji was talking about, you have been seekers for ages. And I'm thinking, oh Lord, right. I'll just keep really quiet and they won't kick me out.
As a seeker, you look at a lot of things. Well, I suppose, firstly, how do you become a seeker?
A chappie I was working for sent my attention inside by asking me some particular questions.
I remember asking my parents, who am I?
He asked me a question, who are you? And I couldn't answer him.
And my parents were very honest. I remember both of them sitting in there, we want to know as well. We don't know.
And I'm thinking, I'm not dying until I have the answer.
I was telling myself that the more money I made, or the more successful I was in whatever it was I was doing, I'd get peace. But I never did.
By the time I was 22 years of age, I had a Volvo and a Honda dealership in Western Australia. I had 30 people employed and country property.
It wasn't working.
And I woke up one morning and I thought, I am not a happy person, and why is that?
I was quite desperate for some assistance. I didn't feel that I fitted into the world at all.
I started going to meetings, spiritualists and different groups and trying to meet all the people and try to experience what everyone was doing.
I ended up in a thing called the Self Realisation Fellowship, which was about getting self-realised. But of course they didn't hand out self-realisation in the Self Realisation Fellowship.
My view was once you had an inkling of all of them, you were able to tie them together somehow, find what is the common thread to it.
There was an old expression that when you need a guru, your guru will come to you. And I sort of had that somewhere in my mind. And I did feel that I'd reached the end of my own road, that I couldn't do it by myself any further.
I knew that there was a very important being here. I knew she was a female, but I didn't know where to find her.
So I become atheist, complete atheist. I don't want to know God, I don't want to know religion, I don't want to know at all.
I was involved in a boating accident in the late 70s, about 78 I think, on the harbour, and I really injured my spine. So I went to the doctor in Balmain and she said, it's not your physical body that's the problem, it's your spiritual body, and I'd like you to go and see this man. And she gave me Dr. Warren Reeves's number.
As it turned out, it just so happened that I got this flat in Balmain, which positioned me, of course, to be about 50 metres from the chemist where Cheryl Slade worked.
And I had this experience when I very first saw him. I just felt as if something had dropped through the top of my head. It said, "This man is going to show you what you've always been looking for."
And I used to be in there regularly with medical insurance and prescriptions and so on. And on one occasion, Cheryl said, "You're having a tough trot." And I couldn't but agree with her. And then she said, "Well, I just joined a meditation group." She said, "I don't know too much about it, but it could do you some good. Certainly wouldn't do you any harm."
And she's saying, "Oh, hello, how are you going?" I'm going, "Oh dear, this is happening and that's happening and oh, my life is so..." Oh, she said, "What you need is this." And she showed me Shri Mataji's picture. And I've gone, okay, what can you say about an Indian lady? You know?
I was so down that I said, "Right, when?"
They were having meditation, this was Tuesday night, and he said, "Why don't you come and have meditation with us?" So I was quite young then, must have been 13-year-old.
So the following night we went to this little house in Haberfield. And there was a decision that one foot in a bucket would be enough, since the other one was bandaged, heavily bandaged. And then I was, with my glasses, I could see candles and hands moving behind me.
The whole thing was fairly disorienting for me. I hadn't come seeking this, you see. I'd come in support of my family. So I was really having to orient myself in something that was pretty exotic. But they were pretty excited because standing behind me, they could actually see the pulsation of my kundalini rising up my spine. So everybody said, "Come and have a look at this, come and have a look at this."
They were going, "Oh, feel this." And I'm thinking, what is going on? Do you feel it? I'm going, "No, I don't feel anything." But
I could hear them saying, "I think it's there." "No, it's not." "Yes, it is." "Yes, I just sort of sat there, and then it's as if there was a click in my head, and I felt, I always knew you had to look inside, and I didn't know how to look inside, and I suddenly felt that my attention had been sucked inside.
I had the most amazing experience.
And I went into the deepest meditation.
If I started trying to think, I couldn't think of anything, and all my body was vibrating. So it went for 1 hour, I think, at least.
The only thought I could remember was, I want to be like this forever.
A snake or serpent dancing inside and rising up, that kundalini rising up, and just coming up the top of my head and exploding on top of my head, and this amazing sensation. And it was just life transforming at that moment. And suddenly I realised I felt connected to everything at that point.
My heart just opened and I felt this incredible joy. And
I looked at her photograph and saw this amazing image of her with all the arms, and she was a goddess, you know. That was an incredible sensation.
I've never understood what love was. You know, love was always conditioned love. But this was just love for all humanity. It was just, and it lasted for ages. It lasted for weeks and weeks and just got me through those early days. It was beautiful.
You know, life will never be the same again, that you have been transformed at that moment.
I was virtually chain smoking. But that night, I didn't really want a cigarette. Next morning, I didn't want a cigarette. Later in that day, I was having a big argument in my head about, if you want a cigarette, you have a cigarette. Well, eventually I did. And it tasted foul. So I threw it away, and that was it. I suddenly thought to myself, something's going on here.
She talked a little bit about Sahaja Yoga and gave me a booklet of mantras and things. And just as I was leaving, she said to me, "She's God, you know." And I've gone, okay. So I took the picture of Shri Mataji and put it on the gear stick of my car and looked down at it and thought, well, who am I to say you're not? So I thought, well, I'll give you 5 years and you can prove that you're not. So that was my entrance into Sahaja Yoga. So it was more or less waiting for Mother to make a mistake, to go, aha, you're not really God. But of course she never did.
My family got their self-realisation a year before me.
So then my brother went to the first puja in Ada Avenue in Wirrunga, and he came back from that puja and he looked wild. His hair was sort of standing on end, his face was like glowing. He was sort of mumbling about pujas and washing someone's feet and feeling a wind flying off this lady, and it was everything he'd ever hoped for, and he'd found the answer and I had to come along.
If you're family, they tell you, she's God.
And I was sort of saying, well, you washed in your lady's feet, you felt a wind. I'm sorry, but it sounds a bit crazy to me. So good luck to you.
It was sheer luck. It's sheer luck and absolute grace of Shri Mataji that my colleague who used to work with me in bank, Mrs. Damle, she had this ring of Shri Mataji on her finger. And I say, oh, now this one, she's going to this false guru, I better rescue her.
I think it was Marilyn Fogarty, who mentioned that this very special person was coming, and then somebody else also said that there was a saint coming, and I thought, oh, yes.
So he said, well, can you at least drive me to the program and drop me off, and then, I'll come back home later. I said, okay, no problem, I'll drive you there.
But I got to the bus stop, and the bus pulled up, and then I went, oh. And then it got into town very quickly. I got down to Town Hall Station and the train pulled up for King's Cross. Excuse me?
So we drive there, and then by chance, right out the front of the hall, which is in King's Cross, which is never any parking, just at that moment, a car pulled out right in front of the hall. And he said, oh, look, there's a spot, just pull back in, and then you can wait for an hour, and then you can take me home. So I said, all right. So I went in the hall, sat down.
It was like there was this red carpet. It was the most amazing thing because that had never happened to me. It's just like on command, everything arrived on time.
I was sitting there with my arms crossed, a little bit sort of peeved. And then in a short time, the person said, please stand because Shri Mataji has arrived. So everyone stood up, and I was thinking, well, I'm not really here for the program, I'm just the chauffeur, I'll just stay down. So I was sitting with my arms crossed and everyone's still standing up. And I was sitting there, and then all of a sudden I just felt this huge pressure, like when someone's really looking at you in a sort of a way, and I turned, and Shri Mataji had walked down the hallway, and she'd paused at the aisle where I was, and she was looking down the aisle at me. And then when I established eye contact, I can still remember it felt like...
Maybe I was enamored, I don't know, but I didn't actually think about it. And she was
like the most perfect person I'd ever seen, and I was thinking, oh, this is what I need the perfect mother.
And I felt absolutely in love with her.
And my brother was sort of pulling my shirt saying that, sit down. So I sat down, and then he put his hand above my head and said, look, it's really strong, you got it. I said, I got what? He said, your realisation. He said, it's happened just like that.
Whether I accepted who Shri Mataji was then, I don't know, but I suppose when you have that sort of experience, it's very it's very strong, and it has a very strong effect on you. You can't deny it then, you know, when you have that feeling of absolute joy. And well, that's what it is. It's just absolute joy, you know, you just can't get out of it.
And then she talked about things, and it was such a relief to hear someone who thought the same way as me, because I'd been kind of feeling a bit like a dinosaur in the modern age at that stage.
And I thought, okay, well, we're on track here. This is somebody who knows what's what.
And it was sort of like, well, this is my grand unifying theory. This sounds like it.
I just agreed because nobody had actually said, none of the people I'd ever looked at, you know, and they never even talked about such sensible, common sense things.
I didn't hear the lecture. I didn't hear anything. The only thing come in my mind is, Mother, I love you.
And then I was just in love. I was completely euphoric for so many weeks.
I went deeply, profoundly thoughtless, just incredibly in another space.
I think I probably felt peaceful, I must have. And maybe I felt thoughtless, I don't know. But I just knew that was it.
At the end of the lectures, you know, Shri Mataji says, and may God bless you. And I used to say, what God has to do with, Mother, you bless me.
I sort of joined this sort of queue of people, and up I went just to say thank you. But just as I arrived, my daughter jumped up at my side, and Shri Mataji turned her attention on my daughter with big eyes like saucers and said, "Huh, is this your child?" And I had to confess. And then she said, "Huh, she is a born realised." Oh, I had no idea what that was.
At one point she did look at me directly for a split second, and she just looked straight at me.
I'm quite sure not only at, but into, and perhaps even to the past lives of.
Her face seemed like large, and just how she looks at you, looked down at you, and seemed like, I don't know, larger than life.
And I remember feeling knowing that she knew me, absolutely knew me.
It's difficult to pin into words, because I'd never experienced anything quite like that.
And that still she loved me. And that was a very important moment in my life.
My experience of Mother up to that point had been the photographs, Head and Shoulders, and her tapes.
It took me 5 years to meet Shri Mataji.
I had this image of her being someone like Boadicea, maybe 6 foot tall, and you know.
And she walked in through the door as Mrs. Srivastava.
Oh my goodness, she's shorter than me, you know. She's so small.
And I was sitting there thinking, this is Mahamaya. This is just so ironic, you know. All this. She's made it so easy.
There she was with her husband, and you know, I still didn't kind of get it.
There was no sort of falling in a swoon at the feet of God.
I had to do a complete retake on my idea of what she was like physically.
They were doing a ceremony for Sir CP being re-elected to his position.
And they asked her to talk, and she stood at the microphone as if she'd never used a microphone before, and she twiddled with the wires, and the whole thing started to crackle.
And they were making lovely speeches to Sir CP and congratulating him, and all these formal things were going on, and then he left. And then she moved her chair to the front of the stage and turned round and took her bun out and shook her hair like this.
I just remember my kundalini just took off. I felt my heart, the spirit just sparkled.
And there was the goddess.
When I went to her feet, there was this hurricane, right, of vibrations just shot up the back, up my spine. It was just like rigid power.
I felt like coming out of her head was a spiral, just like that, like the universe was in her head.
No one's going to convince me that Shri Mother's not God.
But yes, I think most people who come to our mother have had something in their life before. I remember when we first met her in Mumbai, she actually said to us, "You think this is the first time you have met me? It's not."
How do you know my name? Because we never met. She said, I know I met you a long time before. I met you before. I was waiting for you to come. So I know who you are. I know what you are. I know everything about you.
I introduced Matthew and she said, yes, I know him. He's worked with me before. I said to Kerry.
So she started telling about my family, my life, and...
Did I really hear that?
When she looked at me and said, "Nice to see you again," and I've gone... I was happy that there was eye contact, but I'm thinking, again? I don't...
My whole impression about humanity changed. It is a very beautiful world to live.
I remember I prepared my breakfast, I was sitting at the table, and I was listening to a tape of her talking. It's one of those early talks from London. And I still remember her words. She said, "This is what you have been seeking for all of your lives. Take it, it is yours."
And the people around me, they saw the transformation in me. I didn't see it, but they see it. And they said, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And all my colleagues, they become Sahaja Yogi. My family become Sahaja Yogi. They remember my mother, she said, "What are you doing? I want to see this lady." She went to Shri Mataji and she said, "Sakshat Jagdamba, why don't you tell me?" I didn't know Shri Mataji was Jagdamba.
And I remember I pushed the muesli across the table and just fell onto the table, and I just sobbed because I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt this was it.
Just put your hands towards me. Just like this. It's good. You're all thoughtless. If you see, there's no thought in your mind. And complete silence. Enjoy this. This moment is going to transform your life. Take it from me. You may not realize today, but you'll realize it very soon. Strong. Have faith in yourself, that's the main thing. It's beautiful.
Welcome to Sahaja Yoga. I would like to introduce Mark, who will walk us through the process of self-realization and give us a presentation of our subtle system. See you soon.
Hi, Mark is my name. Welcome to Sahaja Yoga. Today you're going to get your self-realization. And self-realization is an actual spiritual event that's going to take place now with an exercise that we're about to do. Okay, so what's going to happen is that you have an energy in the base of your spine here, in the triangular bone, called the Kundalini. This energy is known as Kundalini in Sanskrit, but if you're from a Christian background, you could say it's the Holy Spirit. If you're from an Islamic background, it's the Ruh, the breath of God. If you're Jewish, it's the Ruah. If you're Aboriginal, it's called the rainbow serpent. All the different cultures have understood that there is an activation that has to happen, a second birth, your enlightenment, and so on. And this is what's about to take place for you right now. So this energy is going to rise up your spine, and you're going to feel a cool breeze coming out of the top of your head. And that cool breeze is the proof that something's actually happened. Now, when you look at the old spiritual paintings, for example, you can see the halos around the saints, you know, in the old Christian paintings. That's a depiction of this awakening. If you're a Buddhist, you have a lotus flower on Lord Buddha's head. It's the same thing. If you're from a Hinduism background, it's the waterfall from Lord Shiva's head. If you're from Islamic background, it's the fire coming out of the Prophet's head, for example. There's a lot of old paintings that depict this. So all of these great religions understood that there's a spiritual event that has to happen, okay? And that's what's going to happen today. Now, what happens is that within you, as you can see from this diagram, this is a depiction of your central nervous system. And what happens is that within your central nervous system, you can see we have these, what we call subtle centers. And these subtle centers are along the various nerve plexuses along your spine. There are 6 of them, and the 7th one is the limbic area of the brain, where there's the 1,000 nerves, right? So what happens is that physically, it's your nervous system, right? But according to the Sahaja Yoga subtle system, it's not just physical. This system controls your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical life. Okay? You have 2 sides. You have a left side and you have a right side. The left side is the side of your emotions. It's also the past. Okay? It's the feminine side of you. And according to Sahaja Yoga, if you feel sad and depressed and you get problems of that kind of a nature, that means you have an imbalance on your left side, okay? And you feel it as heat on your left hand. On your right side, this is the side of action. It's your ego. It's the future. It's futuristic thinking and so on. So if you're a very ambitious, driven, kind of dry kind of a person who thinks a lot, then you're prone to be more of a right-sided person and you would feel heat on the right hand. So what happens is that you get a sense of the balance. You can't be in the past. We all know that. That's gone. We can't be in the future. Future doesn't exist. We have to be in the present. And what happens is your hands tell you. You can see the depiction of the fingers. You can see the different colors. And those colors represent, it shows you. So this finger here is your heart chakra, for example. If you have a problem in your heart chakra, you feel it on this finger and this finger. If you have a problem on your Nabi chakra here, which is all about satisfaction and so on, you would feel the second finger. So what happens is that these chakras represent the different qualities or aspects of your character. So as we said, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. It's holistic, okay? And you feel it on your fingertips. So any imbalance you have, you feel. So in the old books, they would say, know thyself. This is how you know yourself. You get to understand yourself at a vibrational level, what we call vibrational level. And then it's like a mirror. You can see yourself, you can cure your own imbalances, because some of these problems will be health related, for example. So if you're diabetic, it's this center here, the second chakra here, this Nabi chakra here, third chakra. If you have high blood pressure, it's this one, for example. And it's all on the right side. It means you're overactive, you're too futuristic. So you can actually alleviate a lot of those problems using Sahaja Yoga. And Sahaja Yoga, there's many, many health benefits with that. So, for instance, we've already done studies on asthma, for example, which is a problem on this center here. So you can actually resolve any asthma or any asthmatic type problems you have using Sahaja Yoga techniques. And that's something for another program. But understand that at the root level, this system here reflects you holistically, okay? So you begin to feel the tingles on those fingertips related to the various imbalances that you have, and that this energy rises up and comes out of the top of your head, and you feel it as a cool breeze, shows you that something's happened, it's been activated. You're now enlightened. So if you're a Buddhist, that's your enlightenment. If you're a Muslim, it's your mirage. If you're a Christian, you're born again, because this spiritual awakening is taking place and you get a full awareness of yourself. Okay, so that's the miracle of Sahaja Yoga, but it's very, very simple to do. So what we're going to do today is actually go through the exercise to feel this cool breeze for ourselves, and over time, with practice, you'll begin to understand all of this for yourself, and there's many, many references and resources we can point you towards for that. So we'll do the exercise. It's very simple. Now what you've got to do is you just sit, shoes off, feet on the floor. Okay. Now you've got to put your left hand out towards us, no problem. And we're going to use our right hand to activate the energy. And this right hand we're going to use on the left side of the body. And we're actually going to be placing it just on the positions of the various centers. Okay, we're going to start now. I'll walk you through it so that you understand, you can see, because we're going to close our eyes, right? So start on the heart, put your right hand on your heart. Then we're going to bring it under the rib cage on the left side. So it's all on the left side with the right hand, okay? Then we're going to bring it into the belly button area. So you can just press in with the heel of your palm into the sort of belly button. Then we're going to bring it back up under the ribs. Then we're going to be on the heart again, okay? Then, next one, we're going to put it on the corner of the neck on the left side and turn our head to the right, like this. Okay, we hold it nice and firmly in there. Across the forehead, right, with our chin down. And then across the back part of the head with our chin up. Okay. And then finally, we're going to take the center of our palm and we're going to put it on the fontanelle bone area, which is actually slightly forward of the crown. And we press in, fingers back, press in nice and firmly, and we're going to rotate our scalp 7 times clockwise. And along the way, we're going to say affirmations. Okay, so that's the physical side of the exercise. I'll guide you through it so you can close your eyes now and we can go ahead. Okay, so close your eyes, hands out. Put your right hand on your heart. And here in your own mind, you don't have to say it out loud, in your own mind, we're addressing this Kundalini energy as our mother. Okay, she is a mothering energy. So here we can say 3 times inside our own thoughts, Mother, am I the Spirit? Just 3 times. Mother, am I the Spirit? Now we bring our hand down under the rib cage on the left side. And here we can say, again 3 times, Mother, am I my own teacher? Mother, am I my own teacher? And now we can bring our hand down into the belly button area. Like we said, press the heel of your palm in near your belly button. And here 6 times, you can ask or you can affirm, Mother, please give me the pure knowledge. Mother, please give me the pure knowledge. 6 times. Now you can bring your hand back up under your rib cage, and here 10 times you can say, Mother, I am my own teacher. Mother, I am my own teacher. 10 times. And now we can bring our right hand across our heart. And now 12 times we can say, Mother, I am the Spirit. Mother, I am the Spirit. And now we can put our hand in the corner of our neck on the left side, turn our head to the right. And here we can say 16 times, Mother, I am not guilty. Mother, I am not guilty. And now we can bring our right hand across our forehead with our chin down. And here we just say once, but from the heart, Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive everyone. You gotta let it go. Otherwise, this area won't release. You have to forgive everyone. And now, with your hand on the back of the head, with your chin up, again, you can just say once, but from the heart, Mother, please forgive me if I've made any mistakes. Mother, please forgive me if I've made any mistakes. And finally, with our hand on the top of the head, the center of the palm on the fontanelle bone area, pull your fingers back, rotate the scalp quite firmly 7 times clockwise. And each time, just ask, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. 7 times. Now when you're done, slowly lift your hand above your head about 6 or 7 inches and just see if you can feel a cool breeze coming. So you might have to move your hand up or down, left or right. You just got to find a spot where you can feel that there's a little cool breeze, like someone blowing on your hand. It's quite subtle. See if you can feel that spot. Sometimes it's quite high, and it could be forward or back. So try and find that spot where you can feel the cool breeze. If you're feeling warm, it means that Agya chakra, the 6th chakra there, is still catching. But if it's cool, it means it's come up. Try your other hand as well. Sometimes you can feel it better with one hand than the other, depending on yourself. See, find that spot where you can just feel a little cool breeze. As I said, it's quite subtle, like someone blowing your hand. You might think it's a breeze in the room or your air conditioning or something, but actually, when you move it around, it's just on one spot, so you know it's the Kundalini. Okay, so that's the self-realization exercise. If you haven't felt that cool breeze, you can repeat the exercise if you like. The other thing is that you can just put your hand across your forehead and just say, I forgive a few times, and just sort of repeat it until you can feel it coming up.
Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji